It's going live. You're live.
Hey, I hear that folks are using the bank's ATMs to collect Bitcoin. If the folks are using the ATMs to collect Bitcoin, that's a big mistake. Excuse me. That's a big mistake. The banks are left out of it. That's what makes Bitcoin decentralized. The banks don't have a part in this. However, the banks are beginning to put up ATMs. They trying to capitalize on the Bitcoin, but if we can leave them out of it if we don't use their facilities. Let's keep it like it is, guys. Save Bitcoin.
What happened with the churches?
Oh, okay, so you're going to cut through that, huh?
Maybe.
Okay, for example, and the reason I say this, leave the banks out of it, don't use their ATMs, because it's just like they tried with the churches. They tried to have the churches, the government, I'm talking now, the government tried to have the churches pay taxes on their money, the money they were receiving, because they were using the government's funding. They were accepting help from the government, and that's how they had to fight not to pay taxes to keep their money decentralized and the government out of it. So don't use the ATMs from the banks,
So this morning, she's like, we were watching a video this morning, and Mom's like, I remember when they tried to do that with the churches. She said the government, the churches were accepting funds for different programs, the different outreach ministries to actually give more to the community, because my mom was a preacher's wife, and she was like, it was a big thing in the churches altogether, and that they actually stopped accepting that funding. And once they stopped accepting the funding from the government, then the government could no longer tax them. So as we all know,
still accept it.
Who?
The churches still have the government's help.
But how did they become tax-free?
They were always tax-free, but the government tried to bring a lien against them for them to pay taxes.
Okay.
On the monies they were getting. But the religious segment was able to fight against that and not pay taxes and stay decentralized, because they were a decentralized unit already. But accepting those fundings made the government think that they could come at them and make them pay tax on the money that they receive each Sunday.
Oh, okay.
And they were able to fight against this, so they were able to stay decentralized. But you see, when you start borrowing from the banks and the government, then they'll find a loophole and try to make you pay tax on it. They're going to try to get their part. They're going to capitalize some kind of way if they can.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for a way. And we give open doors for them to come in when we start involving them.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to stay away from the banks and the government. Don't try to file taxes on your money. None of that. Stay free and clear. Let's stay decentralized.
And there it is, folks. You all have it. Straight from the preacher's wife.
That was